All right, what's up, you Relentless Warriors? Welcome back to Relentless Fit 365. This is legs on fire, lower body beatdown, post-workout Q&A. So I hope you guys enjoyed this particular workout. I knew it was going to be a little bit more, probably tougher, certainly going to be longer. As you can see, we went about 15 minutes over than we normally do. And I kind of warned you guys that it was going to be a longer one than yesterday. Yesterday was certainly a shorter one than it was today. Before we get into the questions, the one thing I want to reiterate, if you look at the week regarding the website on Thursday, you will see that it says shoulders only. It is actually the one day I combined two, and it should be back and shoulders. I was in La La Land yesterday and wasn't thinking straight, but it should be back and shoulders, and biceps are by themselves on Friday. That's going to be the ultimate burnout towards the end. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at Thursday. Expect to do back and shoulders. And the time is going to be slightly shorter than today. Expect about an hour like we normally do. And then, of course, your traditional Q&A. Also, on the website, if you look at the top tabs, you will see open discussion. There is no longer a link in the Q&A section to ask questions. Just go into the open discussion. I'm going to check that periodically, but it's also a platform for you guys to just basically talk amongst each other and, share things with the community, grow and build. Sometimes we just need to vent, and this is a platform to do that because we get so much encouragement from one another, and that's what that's kind of like the idea for that. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping in the future we'll probably have a better platform to do it on, but right now that's the option, and I'll see how that one goes as to whether or not I'll keep that up or not. So your feedback is going to mean a lot to that too. But it's also a place to ask a question. And so when you're doing it, just make sure you put in all caps, "This is a question for Jake," or whatever, and it'll be easier for me to find it, especially if the chat gets really long. Now, I will say probably every week I will clear out that discussion and we'll start up with a whole new discussion. So it's not going to be like Facebook where it's just a rolling discussion. It's always going to be on record. It is not always going to be on record. Every week I will clear that up. So just keep that in mind too. All right, going into the Q&As now. Emma, good to see you, Emma. Welcome, Emma, in the house. I'm sorry for what I screamed at you during these Wolverine moves, even though you created the moves. I forgive you. Well, if you're screaming things at me, I consider that a success, and I will take it. Good job, Emma, because I know this was a tough one. If you like leg exercises and leg workouts in general, you'll probably really love this one. If you're not a fan of leg stuff, you're not going to like this one. I'm a fan of leg things because, this is like training that I used to do when I did the long endurance races. One of the things about this type of workout with lower body, it's power, but it's also muscular leg endurance, and your leg should be able to withstand the most because it's a large percentage of your body, 50%. So, we should be able to put ourselves through a lot of pain and still keep going. And it's a lot of the leg stuff is mental. So good job, Emma, for pushing through. Avia, Jake, thanks for the amazing workout. I loved it. I feel challenged and my muscles were engaged. That's because you are a beast. You're a powerhouse and you're fantastic. You keep up the good work. The last portion was the burnout. I was wanting. Perfect. I'm glad you stuck around because the first half was like your traditional, typical leg workouts. Things that we are used to, we've done before. We've done reps like that before. I would even argue we've done some things that were more difficult, but it was the build up to what we were getting to at the end. And I knew that last end was a bear. Avia's got a question. I have a question on the Bulgarian squats. No problem. What's the question? I'm going to read it just now. And the calf raises. Is it necessary to look up in order to engage the correct muscles? That's actually, fantastic question. I know I always say that, shoulders back, chest out, look up. No, the look up is just a technique. You could look down, you can look straight forward, whatever's comfortable for you. The reason why I say look up is, and it's a technique, like I mentioned, when you look up, you naturally bring your spine up, which will bring your shoulders back or remind you to bring your shoulders back. But a lot of times people who are used to doing that anyway will be able to keep their shoulders back and have good form. And I have clients that can't look up because they'll lose their balance and they'll just look straight forward. Ironically, I've had clients who can look down and still have a straight back. The idea is, and when I say straight back, I'm talking about your spine. You're clearly bent at the waist, so you have like like a bend to you because you're sort of forward, but your spine isn't curled. I hope that part makes sense. But no, to answer your question, absolutely not. You certainly don't have to look up. Just a technique. Mitra says that was yummy and a little bit ouchy, fire. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much, Jake Sweetness. Always good to see you. And I like the descriptive words today. The ouchy, fire. There was a little fire in there. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I was wondering about Thursday because I didn't see back. Yeah, and Avia, who just has amazing back physique. Yeah, that's funny because I kind of thought of you when I was going over it this morning. I was looking through everything. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't put back in here, and then it occurred to me that was the one I combined back with shoulders. I originally had them separate, and I was going to do the entire week, and this is the mistake that happened. I was going to do the entire week of just strength training, but I wanted one final HIIT burnout on Saturday, and I felt like the back and shoulders, they actually make a good team of superset. And you'll see when we do that. So it makes a better workout to put these two together. The biceps are just a nice finisher of all the strength stuff that we're doing this week. But definitely this week is an upper body intensive week. Even though legs were tough today, we're technically only working out the legs just once this week, which is like, it's very, very uncommon that we do that. A lot of times I'm working out legs more than that. So, but it's a nice change of pace of what's currently going on and what we're doing today with the strength training. All right, so moving on, just to give you an idea of the back stuff. And don't worry, Powerhouse, because you're going to be setting records and stuff. I don't know what that means, but you're going to do fantastic like you always do because you're fantastic at the legs. Emma says, I was wondering about... Wait a minute. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I was wondering about the hand placement on the Wolverine calf raises. I wasn't sure if we were directly on the knee or if we were on the thigh or right above the knee. To be honest, fantastic question. It really doesn't matter. Most of my pressure is on the knee, but as long as you're leaning forward and that weight is going more towards your forward leg than your back leg, that's really what you want. I wanted to raise it today because I felt like it was an overkill on the hamstrings and the quads if you went too low. We were doing, and I knew what we were up against coming up with the workouts after that. I knew we were going to be doing the Wolverine sidestep and tuck combination, and I thought it was too much. That's one of the reasons we did the raised, but I also wanted to isolate the calves more. Whether you're on your thigh or whether you're on your knee, that really doesn't matter so much. I happen to go on my knee just because it's the most comfortable for me, as far as like the most natural. But if you want to go on your thigh, that's fine too. I would even say if you want to go to your forearm and put pressure on your thigh with your forearm, that's okay too because you're still raised. You're a little bit lower, but you're not all the way down where your chest is on your thigh. That's what I was trying to stay away from. Hope that answered it. Moving on. And then Emma says, I didn't want to put too much pressure on the knee itself, but was not sure. Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. Doesn't have to be on the knee, per se. What did Anna, what did you say, Anna? I missed that. Anna says, my legs, ouchie, such a good workout till you get to the combo. Yeah. That's when the workout actually started, in my opinion. The idea was to fry the legs and then work them out. That was smart. Anna, good to see you. The last part was brutal. Yeah, it sure was. Stupid lag. I had 5 minutes. I am 5 minutes behind. Emma, oh, such a bummer. I'm sorry. Stupid lag. And... you know, we're not on the Vimeo platform. We haven't been on the Vimeo platform for live, but as a result of that, we haven't had as many issues. I haven't heard as many issues from you guys. So Vimeo is working their stuff out. We keep in contact with them almost on a daily basis. They're sending us emails, and we're responding. But I'm not gonna, just to get on a technical note for a second. I will not feel comfortable going on Vimeo's platform for the live until they get a lot of kinks out. You know, they're great. They're absolutely fantastic to work with. They're fantastic with their video quality. I certainly, if you noticed on the website, I'll remove it from this platform and I'll take it from this platform and go on the Vimeo. As soon as the live is up, it eventually merges over to Vimeo anyway, because I think the smoothness, the quality, once it's off the live platform, just does a better job. Scrolling down. Jake, any suggestions on heavy bag workouts? I already started working that bad boy. That's awesome. You know, there's a YouTube video I did. We did a sponsored video about 2 years ago. When I say was it 2 years ago? A little over a year and a half ago. Myself and Paprika did a sponsored YouTube video by Everlast. And that one, we were promoting the Everlast teardrop bag. And I call it the teardrop bag, but it's the hydro bag. And that one's a good one because we incorporated some heavy bag. We incorporated some mitts and combinations. Let me try to look that one up. If you go into Everlast, I don't know. I'll find it. Avia, I'll find it on the link section. I'll find it on YouTube and try to leave the link on the community page, and I'll tag you. I felt like that was a good one for heavy bag. I do have plans of bringing the heavy bag in here and doing some heavy bag workout stuff eventually when we do some MMA, just to change things up a little bit. So, a lot of people are getting heavy bags now. I know not everybody likes MMA heavy bag stuff, but hey, you're gonna have to take some of the things you hate with some of the things you love, because that's kind of the idea. That's how we get better. I hate triceps. I think I mentioned that yesterday. We did them. I don't skip anything. And if I hate it, I often focus on it a little bit more. So try to get in that mindset of things you hate. Why do you hate them? Do you hate them because you don't feel like you get a good workout? Figure out why you think that's the case. Perhaps the form is off. Send me a video. Say, hey, is this right? Because I don't feel anything here. But for the most part, it is a good balance. I'm not trying to get preachy. I'm not trying to sell you on MMA stuff and kickboxing, but I think there's usually a mindset and a reason why. A lot of people just tend to feel awkward on kickboxing. And then you have people like Avia and The Ripper and Ninja Nina, and Relentless Mama, Fit Mama Bear, who kills it as well. And of course, like a lot of clients that have been on the floor, not everybody liked the kickboxing MMA stuff. And they ended up embracing it in the long run because they just got good at it and it became fun. But if you're not having fun, it's probably because you don't feel good at it yet. Once you get good at it, you might start to enjoy it. I'll leave a link for you, Avia. I'll look it up later on today. And congratulations on your heavy bag setup. It looks fantastic. Julie has a question about calf exercises. Does changing foot position work different parts of the muscle? Yes, it does. If you go inside if you tilt your foot, and I can't show you on the floor, so I'm going to show you with my hand. It just makes it easier. So if you tilt your foot inside, you will feel the difference of your calves when they engage as you're lifting. Sometimes you can go outside, same thing. You're hitting multi-dimensions of your calves. Think of your calves almost as a diamond. You want to get inside, outside, and then, of course, the center. So I usually now we didn't do this today, but just for future reference, because this is actually a great question. Sometimes I'll tilt in, sometimes I'll tilt out, and then I'll go center point. And then same thing. So it gets every dimension of the calf. Now, one thing I will add is the moves that we actually did today, it's not entirely necessary because of the pauses. Now, when you pause, your flexor muscles are forced to engage, meaning you have to balance yourself to stay up, which means you're working the entire calf. But I'm talking fast reps. People, when they go to the gym, they're doing calf raises on the machine or something. And if you're doing really fast reps, it takes away from flexor muscle work. So if you are in the gym, always keep that in mind. Twist your foot in, twist your foot out, go center. All of those are acceptable. Very good question, Julie. Thank you for asking that. The Ripper, speaking of someone who likes MMA stuff and has a fantastic hook. All right. AQ Chino, Costa Rican Warrior. Hello, my friend. Good to see you, bud. I just fast forward. I will watch what I missed at the end. Thank you, Emma, and thank you for joining in your questions. It's always good to see you. AQ Chino says, I like the YouTube Vimeo combination now. I watch on YouTube first and then download it on Vimeo. And that was kind of the concept. So that that means a lot, that it's working. We don't hear as many complaints. I'm going to use whatever tools we have necessary to make it the best platform possible, even though I feel like there's like this bitter divorce between YouTube and us. and it's not. I mean, we're still on YouTube. I still love YouTube as a platform, but there are some things about YouTube that just royally irritate me to no end. But at the same time, they do have some technology that still does work better than Vimeo. And on the flip side, Vimeo has a lot of technology that works better than YouTube. So we're using all of the best of both worlds and putting them together. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much, Jake, for sharing the link. And I'll look for it. I would love to see some heavy bag workouts. It adds flavor. And we're all about flavor. We don't want just vanilla. Vanilla's okay, but we want some other stuff too. Emma, I'm sure you crushed it. I'm sure you crushed it. Anna says, it's going to take a lot more than that, Jake. It's awkward. I don't feel like I'm getting work done. I have a bag, though, or access to, so maybe I'll give it a try. And, yeah, it's awkward. That's the thing I usually hear. You don't feel like you're singled out here, Anna. You're not an exception to the rule. I've had many clients that have felt the same way. It's more difficult for you because you're doing it through video, whereas I could usually take some one-on-one time and help a client out with their combinations and how to pivot their hips. A lot of times people just want to move their arms. If you understand that it's a full body motion, pivoting your hips and twisting around and getting into it, you're going to feel it in your core. You're going to feel it in your calves, your legs, your arms, your shoulders in general, in specific, your triceps. That is one of the things why MMA is such a popular style of workout these days, because it does hit so many different variables. There's so many moving parts to it. But if you feel awkward, that's usually the reason why people don't like it. And little by little, Anna, just keep being patient. It'll get a little bit better. And maybe I'll try to come up with something that would make it a little bit more enjoyable. You're not alone. I know Marta doesn't like the kickboxing either. There was one, I don't remember which one it was, but we did a cardio kickboxing one time, and Marta told me she was almost sold on it that day. I don't know. I think we mixed it up with Iron Body, and she might have liked that. I don't remember. But occasionally, little by little, it starts to grow on you. Believe it or not, the Wizard used to hate it. Rich didn't like kickboxing either. The pause reps were brutal, and I definitely felt more muscle engagement. Yeah, pause reps are always brutal. You did it right. I have noticed that my mental strength has increased significantly since I started Relentless. Yes! But workouts kick my butt. Kick my... I guess I could say that now. But I have been able to push myself to finish. And great job. Yeah, mental strength is what I really like to focus on. When you realize how much pain you can take, you start to realize how much you can literally do and accomplish. And the more pain you can take and the more you can accomplish, the better shape you get. And it really does start with this. I feel fantastic that you said that. That's the ultimate compliment to me, that something is working on your end, that you're able to... And I only feel like it's a compliment to me because it's nice to be a part of that journey, to see somebody say that they've changed mentally, being a part of this Relentless community. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Oh, and I just read this. I know that you'll say it's me, but honestly, I was doing other workouts before finding your page, and I would get frustrated or bored or just stop my workouts, so definitely have a part in my growth. And yeah, you kind of read my mind. I didn't read this part before. And I'm not trying to dodge the compliment. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, it is an honor. And anytime somebody tells me that, it's a huge honor. It's one of the reasons I'm in the business, that selfishly, I feel great when someone says I was a part of their journey to get somewhere. And I love that. And that means a lot to me, that some of the things that I do are working. And not to divert it, but I do think one thing we do have special here is, I hate to keep going back to the community, but we have a very strong community. And that ends up taking me out of the picture. And I feel like the more you guys grow, the better it becomes, and the more universal people feel like they could fit in. and find a place to fit in. Not everyone fits in, but the ones that do truly do want to change. And I'm a proponent of mindset. If you have the mindset of wanting to change and you find this community, you will find a place here. And I think that's what makes it so special. There's a lot of toxicity, is that the right word, on YouTube. And I bring up YouTube because that's ultimately where the platform became popular. That's where it started. And somehow all that toxic nature of people stayed away from what we did, and we found all the good people. And we still are finding good people. And occasionally some douchebag will come in and we'll filter them out, and it continues to stay strong because we have so many great people. Yourself included, Emma, on top of everybody else on this platform. So, yeah, being a part of that journey is fun. And the cool thing about this case in this community is that other people get to be a part of that journey with you. I love that because that motivates everybody. That's a win-win, as they say. Thank you, Avia. You're awesome too. And again, when people of such great shape, and I know everybody on this community is really hard on themselves. And I guess that's what I attract. I think a lot of people who have a personality like mine are attracted to workouts like this. You know, I think we all have like different temperaments. Some people are shy, some people are quiet, some people are out there and animated. But I think for the most part, everybody has the same personality or mindset regarding fitness and going through things in life. And they end up coming into this melting pot that we call Relentless Fit, and they find home here. So yeah, I think there's something to be said about everybody's swagger. Don't minimize it, because I would always say keep teasing out that swagger. There's something to be said about your competitive nature. There's something to be said about how hard you are on yourself, which brought you here, but that will ultimately make you better. I've never been a fan of like giving yourself false hope. If you're giving yourself false hope, then what's the point? You know, I'm not gonna. I don't want to preach that, but if you set the bar really high and you achieve goals in the process, that's not false hope. That's just somebody who's achieving big things and reaching off for bigger things. So if you want to be in fantastic shape, good place to be is with the Relentless family, and I love seeing that. Let's see. Where was I? I went through a lot of channels, 100% Relentless now. You are a true Relentless Costa Rican warrior, AQ Chino. And look, people ask me if it was on the trip. AQ Chino started following me long before we did a fitness retreat in Costa Rica. He's been around for a long time. He wasn't Costa Rican warrior back then, but it was a process that we started to build. And yeah, it's always good to see his name on there. By the way, warriors, I'll be doing this video later today. Paprika's in the house. Velocity, that's right. That's right, Emma, the velocity. Anna says, nah, it's the fact that you never show your six-pack, so you got to stick around hoping one day to... Oh, it's okay. Is that what it is? Because I'll do that if that's what helps. I've done it before. I've done some shirtless stuff. Why did I get away from that? There's a lot of reasons. I mean, I guess one of them is I enjoy seeing everybody else's fit photos. I got to be honest. I feel honored when people are showing me pictures of how fit they are based on the workouts they've done here. I think to me that says more about a personal trainer. It's like, it's okay. I think a personal trainer should be fit. I used to say when I was younger that, you know, the way a personal trainer looks is kind of their resume, because if they can preach it, then they should be able to live it. So I do agree with you. I think that there's a place where a personal trainer should have and should have the look, should walk the walk, should talk the talk. Six-pack is one of those things. And that's, I did, do that in the beginning, but I think as things progress, and just giving you my philosophy, and I'm not saying I'll never do it again, because I know that when you see people in shape, you're motivated. I certainly am. But to me, the best resume for Relentless is to see other Relentless warriors and their six-pack and how great a shape they're in and their physique. To me, that's a better resume. And that's one of the reasons I kind of backed off, because so many people are like, hey, look at this. This is where I've come. And I'm like, wow, like that was motivating to me. So selfishly, I did it because it motivated me to see you guys in good shape. I'm not trying to jockey for more pictures. You guys do that on your own when you feel like you want to. But it is inspiring. And I know your pictures inspire others. But I won't shy away. If I'm going to preach it, I'll live it too. So if that's what'll get you into liking MMA stuff, Anna, I will do it. I promise. You said just kidding at the end, but you said it. So whatever it takes. Emma has not forgotten this, has she? Still want to hear the story of the Relentless cracked but never broken. That goes back to the logo. Did I say that right? And you said it perfectly. Speaking of, do we know Friday's topic yet? Trying to make that a topic. I do not know Friday's topic yet. That's one of the reasons it's not up there. The cracked but never broken, still not ready to share it. But I will someday. I promise. I appreciate you remembering it. And and what she's talking about is there is a purpose behind. This one doesn't have it because this was made before the crack happened. There's a purpose behind the crack on fit. If you look at the F, most people are familiar at this point, but there's a little crack in there. There's a purpose behind it. Someday I'm going to talk to you about it. Man, I missed a lot of people because I was running my mouth. Thanks, Avia. Bulgarian squats are my nemesis, but looking forward to the challenge. Yeah, they're everybody's nemesis, Paprika, and you're quite good at them. I think Anna is saying what keeps her around is that you don't show your six-pack, and she is waiting to see it. If you show it, she might leave. That's duh. Why didn't I notice that? You're right. Well, it looks like we're going to just have to wait around, aren't we? Thanks for clarifying that, Emelita. AQ Chino says, yeah, it was before, but we are not the big Relentless family yet. Too bad. Waiting for y'all to come back. Yeah, I know. Man, I want to go back to Costa Rica so bad. I wanted to. We had a trip that was supposed to be scheduled in February of this year. Things happened. Things were taking place. So much went on last year where I had to pull it. We probably would have been able to see you because I think the area we were going on this last trip was close to where you're at. If I remember, you're close to you're on the Caribbean side, I believe, and that's where this one was at. I think we would have been able to see you. Soon, buddy. Soon. Nobody wants to buy ice cream when you give away the truck for free. Never been kid. Quote from Never Been. Interesting, Emelita. No more giving away free ice cream is what she's saying. Ice cream. I mean, just kidding. Emelita, you're funny. Avia, I love that you're not cocky, Jake. I hope not. I'm glad I don't come across as that. I don't know, maybe it's a sign of growing at some point. I think everybody going through life, I've been humbled a lot. Maybe that's what it is. Life has given me a lot of beatdowns. And at some point you're like, it's cool. I'm glad to have it. Some of it's a blessing. And at the same time, I'm not going to get too cocky because I know life can kick me right in the teeth and I'll be right back on the ground again. Someone told me this once. You're going to know a lot about a person by the way they handle things, and during the good and the bad. And when things are good, it's really easy to be a good person. When things are bad and that person's still a good person, that says something about their character. And I've always defined people that way. And when I know people are going through rough circumstances and they make the best of it, that's where I'm inspired. So looking at other people has certainly kept my face to the ground. So I have that to really thank. But I appreciate you bringing that up, Avia. Let's see. I remember one workout with Coach Pesca, shirtless, ripped. Yeah, the old James. You know what's interesting? Not to like reminisce, but James Pesca sent me a text yesterday. He's going to be coming by to see that. He's seen the studio, but he's going to come by. He's going to do some shooting here. And we might do a collab together someday. I know we talked about that. So I know he's like re-inspiring his channel. He's focusing more on the soccer side. So his channel has taken a different turn. And he hasn't really focused on it because he's been focusing on training soccer. He's got a lot of kids trying to go pro. So he's training these kids on their pathway to going pro. So it's been really neat, but now he's like trying to bring his channel back, and he's going to be coming in. So yeah, I remember the old James Pesca. The boy is ripped. Another down to earth guy. The whole MMA thing and Anna. Share when you're ready. It's like I like to give a little push from time to time. I'm talking about the crack, Emelita. Share when I'm ready. I will, but I do appreciate you reminding me that. All right, I'm skipping around here. I don't know what happened. I think I lost some comments. Oh, there we go. Jake, I live in the central part of Costa Rica, 25 minutes from the main airport, but everything is 4 hours or 5 hours apart tops. That is true. That's the beauty of Costa Rica, is like the drives, they're windy and they're going around mountains and stuff and through the rainforest, but it's such a beautiful drive. It's such a fun drive. Okay, you live in the central part. We were actually, our last one was closer to you then, because we were I don't know, 3 hours from San Jose? Someone correct me who was there. I don't know if Rich is on board right now. But so we were closer to it. But yeah, if we were on the Caribbean side, it's worth the 4 hour trip. We would meet you halfway or something. Or you can meet us by the Caribbean side. We can go surfing, and you can see how terrible I am at that. Avia says, trials will always show the real character, words of wisdom. Good idea to stay humble and grateful. Yeah, thank you. Those weren't my words. I was regurgitating what I was taught. Luckily, I have learned from that part. Sometimes when you learn from things, you look back and you're like, I'm glad I listened. And other times you're like, man, was I stupid. I hope to not say that as much these days. AQ says, I miss Coach Pesca. He posted this week. I didn't want to ask in case there was some beef between you guys. Never. Not at all. James and I are good friends. We constantly, believe it or not, every week we talk. We go through like business stuff, and he's trying to, he gets ideas from me. I get ideas from him. He's always asking me about the platform and stuff. We've been great friends. Ever since we met, we've been good friends for years. And a real good guy. Sometimes the YouTube relationship is not the same as the real relationship that's intact. For a lot of reasons, James had to walk away from YouTube, and there was no reason for us to collab. And I know sometimes people think just because you're friends, you should collab. That's not always like in the best interest of either channel. But I do think now that he's coming back, it makes sense to do it again. He was just walking away because he was so busy on other stuff. I'll go anywhere to meet with you guys. All right, that's a deal. We're going to Costa Rica, though. And if you guys are ever in Chicago, you guys better look us up. Come to our studio. Fantastic discussion, guys. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this workout. One last by Emelita. I keep having this idea of how fun it would be to plan a Relentless Fit to do some sort of team-building weekend extravaganza. I love that idea. Forgetting how ginormous our community is. Well, I mean, that's not a bad idea. And if we can find a good middle point, or maybe a couple of good middle points, that's always been in the game plan. It's always been in the dreams. And hopefully we can make those dreams reality someday. So, because I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see that. He definitely remembers you, AQ Chino. I told him that I changed your name to Costa Rican Warrior. He just laughed. You guys have an awesome day too. It's been a great chat. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your questions, and hope you guys have a happy hump day. And you know the deal. As every other day, always remember, eat healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. And I'm Relentless Jake. You remember, stay focused, stay dedicated, and I'll see your beautiful faces tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be back and shoulders. I will change that thumbnail later in the next couple of hours. And also, Avia, I will look for that link and I will share that on the community page. I'll try to do that in the next hour or so I don't forget. Oh, and if you get a chance, check out Ninja Nina's cooking video on YouTube. It's fantastic. She's a natural behind the camera, and it's a good, healthy treat. All right. I'm out. Boom!